And looky there. We've got a task for it to do. Some of this stuff is going away for now. This one is plugged into the logistics network. What's going to happen is the tanks are probably going to disappear, and parts of this circuit that do recipe selection are going to move down to where the tanks are now, because I can't track the inventory that is inside of the tanks, and that makes my life harder than it needs to be. Also, so many trains. How about no? How about 64 and then on engines, 2 times 8 is 16. Maybe times 4. Whatever. 64 and 64. Not that many. The little adjusts from the late game to now. Yeah, but there's going to be a version of this that comes out that follows the same pattern as the tank malls, which means that these things are ready to copy and paste, minus the quality modules, because that's a big maybe, I feel. But yeah, that's a big maybe. And then, let's see, why do you not want to go? It needs substations for an actual full power grid, I think. And then just double check I didn't have a late game moment. And this is the full system. Okay. It's rough. I have to hold off on some projects because of how slow things move. That can be set down to 1,000 though, and I can always make adjustments so that it goes and hopefully grabs from some of these logistics boxes or from missile located inventories elsewhere. Either way. I'm getting sucked into quality land again. It's like, no. Okay, back to reality. So that's something that can be done to give me, say, a constant stockpile of 50 and 50 of those once it gets around to it. And then if I do priorities right, it will do the modules first. Or I do a dedicated workstation for the modules over this way. So this needs quality mods, and this needs... like that? Yeah. Okay, now where's that other locomotive? Oh! The trees are not my friends. Okay. Fine, be that way. I have had that happen to me more times than I can remember. So boom boom, and then I need one kind of like that. And then if I go over here, it will do this, and no comment. Let's just set that down to sack size 1, how about? And then 100 steel. And then I can move that one down in there. Make that shape. It's kind of a cross, but more of a kite. Then ask it for, say, 200 of those. On this particular design, quality goes in on both of these points, because I can use these for different applications. And then circuit network, let's say 400 at a given time, because that's more than I need to build up the base that I have and upgrade it at this point. And then we're going to filter to blacklist the normal ones, and then put some in a chest, because I can still use the normal ones. So if I have 250 sitting around, good for me, I figure. I'll need 4 of them to get a single one of these really good machines, so it'll take some time for things to build up. All the dolphin noises. Okay. But that'll be my assembler number 3 going off. And just as I'm looking to be like, did you break again, Mr. Belt? Okay. I was telling somebody earlier today, it's so hard to be on track. And it's just that way, isn't it? Okay, so this system up here means that this shape down here can start to go away. Wow. That built most of my base. Oh, wow. That's a feeling. Sometimes it's hard to clean things like that up. Wow. And I'll get 3 of those going up there. And then, yeah, you know, just gradually get it increasingly locked in. So, how am I doing on the beacons? I still have 30. Have I started to apply them over here yet, then? Boom. Boom. And then do the same thing over at this close-by refinery. Because it's largely the same layout. And that might potentially make my life a little bit simpler. Because if I can do full plastic here, I might just use that one out in the middle of nowhere for rocket fuel. Just be like, it works. Then again, I do have all that set up to go and start doing plastic once I get cracking and other services going. And yeah, that's 27 oil. Okay, assemblers 3. Some little things. Now, Ryan, I do this. I do this. I go over to my big book of I Love Space Platforms. I get out the next iteration of Ryan. Okay, and then I'm gonna make sure that these rocket launchers are not doing requests. Hopefully this is the last time I have to handcraft a spaceship, but it's one of those frustrating things. Okay, automatic requests. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna go gonzo for parts. So one of those. And then 71, 52, 1. So let's do the entire 71 goes up with the fuel tank. There's probably not a good way to do this other than painstakingly. See if I can't pack that in first. Let's get all of the belt-related things on one machine. 14, 8, 2. 14 yellow, 8 red, 2. Alright, I'm gonna have some empty space there. Two, three. Then it's the red ones. 1, 2, 3. We'll see if those fit. $14.10. $14, and then $10. We still have some space in there for something. Or miniguns, maybe. Can we do it? This thing mostly built in one pass. It's looking like it. Alright guys, you can do it. 2 more, and I'll send it. I believe in you. Alright, I've got guns. Got batteries, so if it says I ran out of accumulators, I can just be like, that's a lie. Give me 50. Then any I don't use will be used somewhere else. That run is almost done. So let me see. 12 drills would actually be... Because I gotta think about what I'm going to do, and I'm going to add a lot of production, potentially. But I'm going to be getting bonuses, too. But look, that started to happen. So, boom, boom. Probably will not happen for some time. Just being honest there. There's no magic bullets for needing to do upgrades like this. There's a lot of basic logistics capability that needs to come through with production science. Still, though, get it done. It does distract from Mr. Ryan's build plan, though, for a moment. Yoink! There are some people who go fast enough at this that that coal patch will never run out. This is just not structured as a run that way, because part of the itinerary was to get those quality modules. 970 is good enough for me. And then I can put on 2 of those assemblers, I think, in order to say, good enough for me. I'm satisfied. Then I saw 6 of these units, so Put those on Ryan's deck. One crusher. It presents a puzzle. Do I have enough for a crusher in either of these units? I do not. Can I have enough? Yes. Yes, I can. So that's something where it's like, ugh. That's gonna go on the checklist eventually, isn't it? But did I ever put batteries on this? No, I didn't. They almost survived without modification, so I have to keep that in mind. Because somewhere out there, there might be a person who wants to use this for all sorts of stuff, and I have to just admit, it's a little basic. Then use filters. Does not equal. And I'm looking at this and going like, is it doing enough work? Are we doing good? Breathe, Mr. Breathe. It'll be fine. Alrighty. Got the 2 on there. That might have been a mistake because of the accumulators. Now I can put 4 of these down. Do a build order for that. How are we looking up here? Pretty decent. Some belts. One of the weaknesses of this ship, and I do consider it a weakness, is I don't have an ammo outfeed for when this gets built. So manual fiddling is required. Manual is such a dirty word. need 6 of those. And then 2, 1, 1. And how do they get done? Perfect. All right. Stack size 50, rocket capacity 50. Oh, must have miscounted those. Oh well. That makes my next rocket launch real easy, though. Not playing the riddle of malls here. Which means... Okay, as that's going... I'm gonna do that. Just send over a normal one, I think. And replace those. Okay. Ryan is in progress, but it's time for me to be done for the day. The riddle for this next small task that is going to happen is... How do I get the next of these little orders? 16... Yeah.